Hey guys, this is Ray with PhoneArena and you're watching our video review of Nokia's new mid-range handset, the Lumia 720. So, what is it that could make the Lumia 720 feel special compared to all the good-end smartphones out there, mostly powered by Android? Well, if you're looking for some kind of a hidden feature here or a secret weapon in the 720's arsenal, you're in for a disappointment. However, that doesn't mean that the Nokia Lumia 720 isn't a remarkable device. Quite the contrary, we find it to be one of the better Windows phones that we've ever used. Industrial design has always been one of Nokia's stronger sides, and the wonderful Lumia 720 proves that once again. This is actually one of the best Nokia designs we've seen in a while. Unlike most other handsets by the Finns, the Lumia 720 stands out with a rather slim body at just 9mm, and it's also quite light at 128 grams. We're happy to report that the physical keys situated on the right side of the device, which includes the volume key, the power and lock button, and the two-step camera shutter, all work very well. If you've been hoping to find one of those fancy 1080p screens on the Lumia 720, forget about it. Since it is a mid-range model, some corners had to be cut by Nokia in order to keep the price as low as possible. At first, it might be a little disappointing to know that the resolution is just 480 by 800 pixels, but then again, we should keep in mind that it is a 4.3-inch display, so the quality isn't really that bad. One thing we really appreciate about this clear black LCD display is that it's easily visible when viewed outdoors. It's actually just as visible as the iPhone 5, which automatically propels it to one of the top spots in this category. Not too shabby for a mid-ranger. Viewing angles and colors are also spectacular and up there with the very best. The Lumia 720 is powered by Windows Phone 8, and this of course means that the UI is absolutely the same as in any other Windows Phone 8 device. You have the differently sized live tiles on the home screen, and as always the whole OS is based around a number of hubs such as Office, Music Plus, Video, Games, People, and so on. If you haven't seen a Windows Phone device before, the hubs are basically big advanced applications that house various functions and options of the same type. Overall, Windows Phone 8 is an okay operating system. It gets the job done, although the assortment of third-party applications in the store is still light years behind those of the iOS App Store and the Android Play Store. The Windows Phone 8 interface looks good in all of its simplicity and uniform layout, but we have to admit that we can hardly find anything that it does better than its competitors. Typing on the Lumia 720 is a joy. Windows Phone has a very convenient keyboard layout and the phone is just the right size. Our only complaint with regards to the virtual keyboard is that the landscape one doesn't take the whole width of the screen, which would have made the typing experience even easier. The fact that the Lumia 720 is a mid-end smartphone and runs Windows Phone means that we shouldn't expect any wonders in the specs field. It has a dual-core Snapdragon S4 Plus chipset clocked at 1 GHz. The GPU is the Adreno 305, while the RAM is no more or less than 520 MB. But while these figures might seem scary to some Android users, we should know that the Nokia Lumia 720 runs very smoothly without any performance issues. The handset comes with 8 GB of internal memory, which is a good amount for such a phone, but it also offers a microSD card slot for additional storage. We've said it before that Internet Explorer 10 in Windows Phone 8 is a wonderful browser. Thankfully, it continues to keep this status valid here in the Nokia Lumia 720, as the handset delivers a great browsing experience. The only thing that might be considered an issue here is the relatively low resolution, which might make some smaller text a bit difficult to read. Interestingly, the Nokia Lumia 720 is equipped with a 6.7 megapixel camera. In terms of functionality, the Windows Phone 8 camera interface takes the middle ground between something very simple like iOS and the richness of Android. At first we were very surprised by the lush colors and decent amount of sharpness visible in the Lumia 720's photos. It was then, however, that we noticed the crazy amount of noise in the sky. Obviously, the 720's camera is far from perfect due to that excessive graininess, but we do enjoy the photos that it captures, as they have good contrast, nicely saturated colors and decent amount of detail. Sure, there is quite a bit of noise, but that's not a deal breaker in our opinion. Unfortunately, the Lumia 720 can only record 720p video. Generally, the video is okay, once again treating us to jolly colors, nice contrast and so on, though it's not the sharpest one, as you can imagine. Nokia has been doing a pretty good job when it comes to call quality of its phones, and thankfully the Lumia 720 is not an exception. The earpiece certainly isn't the best one we've heard, but it's above average with a decent loudness and likable quality. The microphone is not quite as good, but it's still average at least. The loudspeaker of the Lumia 720 is definitely one of the better ones that we've heard, with its loud and clear tones, so it's perfectly well suited for conversation. The handset has a very good battery. It's a 2000 mAh unit that should keep the phone powered for at least 2 days of moderate usage. Of course, everyone's usage patterns differ and everyone's understanding of moderate usage also differs, but simply put, if you aren't doing something on your phone all the time, it should last at least 2 days on a single charge. We didn't see this one coming, but here it is. Nokia has come up with a wonderful mid-range smartphone. The Lumia 720 is not the crippled Windows Phone 8 experience some might envision when they hear the words mid-range. Quite the contrary, it's a smartphone that may not have all the latest features, but what it has works very well. The only significant issue in this phone is the wide VGA resolution, and even that isn't enough to ruin the otherwise remarkable experience. The Windows Phone 8 platform doesn't seem to be anything to write home about as well, but it gets the job done and may actually appeal to many users out there. We see absolutely no reason why you shouldn't pick the Lumia 720, especially when it comes at such a great price. Thanks for watching our video review of the Lumia 720. If you'd like to learn more about it, please visit us at PhoneArena.com.